saying is we had an economy in Jamestown, Virginia.
Yeah, but
we had economy.
Wait a minute. Let's back up. Who did we build our economy of selling these crackers and making them work, buying these crackers and making them work?
White trash, peons.
Lead on.
In Virginia, then as in other colonies, the first Negro settlers fell into a well-established socio-economic groove which carried with it no implications of racial inferiority.
Okay, so we had them as servants, all right, in Virginia and in the colonies and the other colonies. Those 13 colonies was settled by black people. This was trade for us. We was the one that started making the money and so forth off of them and had them settling our land until they got the upper hand. And then you had these different wars, the Spanish, so-called Spanish-American wars with the Indians and so forth in the colonies for them to get an upper hand. They start bringing more and more Spaniards over here and till they got enough troops to make a difference. And they finally start to overthrow us and so forth in this country. There's many facts on this. When you go into J.A. Rogers brings out a lot of this information on the Israelites over here in the Americas and how we was governing and ruling things over here.
Boy, that's a bomb. That's a nuclear weapon that you just dropped.
So the main group that was skillful in
what was the name of that book again? That book you was reading.
The name of the book is called Before the Mayflower. A history of the Negro in America. Okay, before the Mayflower. That means before the white man came here on the Mayflower, black men had already came here and settled this place and set up things.
And brought the white man
as a slave in chains and shackles over here. All right. Now, there's a guy, it's a plaque in the colonial Williamsburg in Virginia. It talks about some of the first blacks that settled Virginia. And the number one guy they mentioned is, his name is Solomon Lightfoot Mitchell, which is a black man, a Negro that settled that particular area in Jamestown, Virginia. Now, like I stated earlier, these guys was the ones that overthrew and did a whole lot of damage in North America. The Jesuits, under the order of Ignatius Loyola, Saint Ignatius and the Jesuits. The Indians slaughtered them and cut their limbs off and made mockery of them. And what their whole aim was to indoctrinate the minds of the Indians and the so-called Negroes that was running this country, this world, under their whitewashed Christianity, and subject them under that brainwashing of witchcraft and philosophies. And over a period of time, they was over to overthrow us. This is just some basics, some of the basic things that we bring out on the history of the Negro in America. At this point, we're going to end our session tonight, and next week we're going to continue on with other facts and truth concerning the history of the Negro here in America and throughout the world, and the history about the Negroes being the Jews and the 12 tribes of Israel. All right?
So, brothers and sisters, you see that the white man can't do a damn thing with us because we got our historical facts, we got our archaeology facts, we got our archaeology pictures. He can't do a damn thing with us.
That's right. So a picture states more than 1,000 words. And once you got the fact, Malcolm X made a statement before he died. He said you don't need a weapon to run the white man down the street, but the truth. The truth is a two-edged sword, and he cannot do nothing with the truth. The facts, the Most High said the truth have been purified 7 times. There's nothing he can do with the truth. So from this point on, as the brother stated that came up before us, before me, we're going to continue to teach the word of the Most High. We're going to continue to teach the truth until Christ brings the deliverance and the salvation to the 12 tribes of Israel. With that, we've signed off live from the Israelite School, UPK, Shalom.
So,
Shalom, my brothers and sisters. This is High Priest Yashiyah coming to you once again from the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, located on 1 West 125th Street, room 211. We're coming back to you again to continue with the vast, unique history of the Hebrew Israelites throughout the different chronological periods of time that they ruled areas of this world. But we want to speak about a time that they ruled the whole planet Earth. The Hebrew Israelites, as they broke away from the Roman Empire under the leadership of Servius Septembris in 193 AD, continued to proceed in time and become known as time elapsed as the Holy Roman Empire. Before they became the Holy Roman Empire, Rome was just as unholy as hell because it was controlled by Idumeans or Edomites, Caucasians, white people. But we want to dwell on the time period when the Hebrew Israelites, or what you call Christians, which were Jews, controlled Rome, Spain, Germany, France, all of Europe, Africa, the rest of the world as we know it, and they were doing trade with their Israelite brothers that were located in North, Central, and South America. Many excavations and expeditions that were done by today's archaeologists within the so-called scientific and historical community bear witness to the fact that the Israelites ruled the planet Earth for 1,000 years, and it was known as the Dark Ages. The reason that they call it the Dark Ages is because dark people were ruling the world. They didn't call it the Dark Ages because they didn't have any lights on at night. They didn't call it the Dark Ages because when the sun went down it was nightfall. They called it the Dark Ages because the dark-skinned people were ruling the world. And at that time, the so-called white people were slaves to these people of the Dark Ages and the Middle Ages and so-called